Welcome to our homeschool room. I have a few things I need to do in here to get ready for our first day of school Monday. So I thought I would bring you along and give you a quick tour of how I organize our homeschool room, what I've got in here, my favorite supplies, my must-have homeschool items, and just how I organize our life and why my homeschool room is so important to me. In case you're new here, hi, I'm Chelsea, a former teacher and now homeschool mom, going into my 5th year of homeschooling. And in case you're wondering, I have not always had a homeschool room. In fact, my very first year of homeschooling, I think my first 2 years of homeschooling actually, I homeschooled in an RV. I have had a homeschool shed in my backyard. I have homeschooled in the RV. We had a rental house that we homeschooled in, and now we have a homeschool room. So before you watch this and get discouraged, just know a homeschool room is not necessary. It does work really well for our family. It's something that I value. It's something that we have chosen to prioritize in our home. So if you don't have the space for it, that's okay. There are so many ways to organize your space that works for your family. This is just what works for mine. So come on, I'll show you my homeschool room. All right, let's go. And for starters, this room is the den that is literally in the center of our home. I have bookshelves that go all the way up and around the door frame. And then over here, there's normally a table, curriculum, little window seat, manipulatives, and then the board where I do all of my teaching from.
Let's start with my bookshelves because the bookshelves are my favorite part of our homeschool room. My husband did all of these built-ins when we first moved in. This was a blank wall, builder grade home, so there was absolutely nothing in here. He built me basically my dream homeschool room. So over here, this side is all of our nonfiction books. So from this is kind of a mix, but really here down is science, here up is history. My kids will come over here for reference books. I will pull from these when I'm doing science, history, any nonfiction kind of study. So this is where all of that goes. My kids have access to everything in this room, but this made it really easy for me. So that way I know if I'm trying to find a resource or a book for a specific lesson, it's probably over here. And so that's just how it worked out, made my life easy. This is one of my kids' favorite spots because they love to read about animals. They don't really like history. Maybe it's because the history ones are so high and they can't reach them. I don't know, but they always come to this side for the animal books. So it is what it is. Also over here is our beloved skeleton, Skelly. He is on loan from our chiropractor. I don't know how long we're going to have him, but he is here. He is from medical school, so he is pretty high-end, fancy. Everybody asks me about him. I always feel bad because I think to buy him is like $2,000. That's a lot of money. We are very fortunate to have a family friend who's a chiropractor who loaned this to us when we were doing our anatomy study. That was 2 years ago, and he's still here. So he is a prominent figure in our homeschool room, probably forever. And also over here, I have the big United States of America coloring map. We have been doing a geography study for 2 years. Still not finished. I gave the book away because I figured at this point, we're just going to put it on pause. If I want to do a geography study, clearly what I was using wasn't working for us. So we'll try something new. But we have a half-colored American flag picture on our wall. Welcome to homeschooling. And now for the fiction side of our homeschool room. These are all of our leisure reads. We've got The Magic Tree House, some princess books at the bottom, Disney books. Listen, these are probably the only thing that has been saved from my childhood. My family is not sentimental. We didn't have things. I grew up really poor, so we didn't have things to pass down. So the fact that I still have those is a pretty big deal. I have never once looked at them. I think maybe my kids have once or twice, but they're going to stay. That's just how we're rolling. We also have Dr. Seuss books, some picture books, and then we get into our chapter books. My kids have just started reading chapter books, and so this summer it was one of my projects to go through our picture books. I did keep ones that I wanted to do with lessons or that had a specific purpose, but I got rid of so many of those to make room for new chapter books. Something that I have a lot of value in is being able to pass things down to other homeschool families. We are very fortunate in the state of Florida to have a PEP scholarship that covers all of our homeschool resources, and I know that that is not something that a lot of states have. And even this year in the state of Florida, it was so hard to get. I saw that so many people got denied. So I like to take the things that we have used and loved and pass them on to other homeschool families for free, so that way they can also have more homeschool resources. So yeah, this is our fiction side of our homeschool room. Okay, these are gonna go over here. I've got these magazine holders that hold all of my big boards. So the fly set inserts will go in here. Now the rest, I'm not so sure about. I have a bin where I think I'm gonna put that and my scissors, because I think my scissors might be too big. They can fit right there. These go up here, but I need to put them in the back. I think we can put up in there too. Now see, this is the rest. I don't know where this is all gonna go. Nope. Well, I don't know yet. But I have all of these acrylic boxes that I got on Amazon that store all of our acrylic pieces. I absolutely love these because they are so easy for making lessons hands-on. I will use these for every subject. My kids don't really like to do workbooks. I mean, who does? They're boring. Nobody wants to sit down and do a whole bunch of workbooks. So whenever possible, I will use these to make our workbooks hands-on. So I'll write math problems on here, something like this. I'll write a problem here and they can either put the answer on here, or I will have the answer already written and they have to match them up, something along those lines. I will use it for science or history or vocabulary. I can write the definition of a word here and the word on this, and then they can match them. Super easy to make learning hands-on. These are some of my most used resources just because you can use them for every subject, every day. You can reuse them. I have a lot of themed ones. I'll put the website in the video description so you can check it out and see what's all on there. I have big boards that are used for like different things. This is a question board for who, what, when, where, if you're reading a book. This one is a paragraph outline, so topic, sentence, supporting details, closing sentence. We have so many good boards. This one is for math facts, so I will write addition, subtraction, multiplication, division facts on here and then let my kids solve it. It just makes learning so much fun. It takes the learning off the page. It is so easy and it just brings a little bit of joy because they get excited to pick the color of the marker that they get to use. It's dry erase, so if they make a mistake, it's really easy to wipe off. There's no tears, just so convenient. But this is where I store everything. Okay, I'm standing on the counter so I can show you what else I have up here. I have a bunch of sensory fillers. I will put these in wooden trays or in the IKEA fly set Trofast bins. And then also up here I have like a timer. I have some math cards, math manipulatives. I also have these phonics sound cards. I get asked about these all the time. It's what's over here on my wall. These are from Alana's Orton Gillingham manual. I will tag it in the video description because it is so good. If you are trying to teach a child to read this year and really have no idea what you're doing, if you struggle with phonics, like when letters make certain sounds, it breaks it all down for you and it makes it so easy. It is an incredible resource. I was a classroom teacher and I was never taught how to teach children how to read. So when my oldest was learning to read, she really struggled. So I actually took her course, got her manual, did all the things to learn how to teach my child how to read. And it made a huge difference in our homeschool. So I will highly recommend that. And then also up here, I have some more acrylic boards. These are our bigger ones, and then seasonal acrylics. So basically this entire thing is acrylics and sensory fillers. And yes, I still use sensory bins and sensory play with my upper elementary kids. Makes learning so much fun for them. And if I can bring a little bit of joy in learning in just any way, I'm going to. Now my favorite spot in the homeschool room, I have always wanted a window bench so that I could sit here and read. So I love to lay here with my kids, read to them. We'll do read alouds, picture books. This is basically our snuggle spot in the homeschool room. It is my favorite. It also gets messy. They do schoolwork up here. So there are a ton of marker spots up here, but you know what? I just can't find it in me to care. And then down here I have, those are extra school supplies for me. Side I have extra craft supplies for the kids. This is our curriculum shelf where I keep all of our curriculum. Hold on, let me put this away and I'll tell you about this. Okay, now that it's clean, I can tell you about it. So down here is where the kids' workbooks will stay. So if I ask them to go get writing or math, they each have their side and they know where to grab it from. This makes it really easy for them to do their independent work because they know where their stuff is, but also it puts the responsibility on them to make sure it gets back where it belongs. Up here is where I keep all of the teachers' guides and the resources that I need for the school year. And then up there is the previous year or just some extra stuff that I'm just not ready to get rid of. But this is all me. This is the kids. Makes it super convenient. I know where my stuff is. They have their own space and it does not stay organized, but I would love for it if it did. But I did just get some more of these magazine holders over here to store their books. In previous years, I just stacked them, but they would fall over. The kids would add random things here. So this just made it a little bit easier and more sturdy, more organized. So those are things that I would definitely say are a must in any homeschool space. It's just a really easy way to store books, your teacher's guides, your kids' workbooks, extra manipulatives. Those are fantastic for so many different things. So anyway, that is our homeschool room. That is a real quick tour. If you have any questions about anything, leave them in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them, give you any links for things, help you with ideas for how I use different things. I will also be sharing videos throughout the year with curriculum updates. I will share lesson ideas, how I plan with our manipulatives, how I create hands-on lessons, how I take learning right off the page if you don't want to have to recreate things at home. So make sure you are subscribing so you see all of our videos. Every Sunday, a new Homeschool After Hours goes live where my husband and I chat about all things homeschooling, marriage, family, running a business, all the things that go on outside of homeschooling, but still make this homeschool family life work. So if you're curious about any of those things, come back on Sunday so you can see the next video.